he should at the very least consider the return. You see, when you miss two pens back to back, let me bring the ice. When you miss two pens back to back, the universe is telling you something. It's telling you something. This is a guy that scored 3 pens in a World Cup final, where the pressure was way higher than a freaking UCL League game and a La Liga game, not even halfway through the season. So I know exactly what's happening here, the pressure. You see, we talk about, players from the old days and players from the new days. And I say, okay, the players in the old days, they had it harder than the players in the new days. But you know what I have to concede as to what the new players have it harder than the older players is social media. Like I just did a video with your boy Foden, calling him a false 10. Players are far more aware of criticism from the streets than they were back in 03, 04, pre-social media, pre the instant popping off. So the instant popping off, players know when, oh my gosh, boom, 1000% Mbappe has seen Transbappe, he's seen from Mbappe, he's seen PayPal, he's seen Umbutu Bagbe, he's seen Mbappe. And there's another video going around that I can't actually say on YouTube. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying it. So, boom. Allies. That's all I'm going to say on that one. So, he's aware of the abuse. And I feel that with the abuse that everyone is going towards him, saying, oh, this guy's a fraud, he doesn't deserve to be the next player, blah, blah. That has belayed with the pressure, building up with the bad performances. And to miss 2 penalties in 2 separate games, it's pressure. 100% it's pressure. And what is so crazy is if there is one player you'd feel has crazy amounts of confidence and doesn't even know what pressure means, you'd say it's Mbappe. To do what he did in that World Cup final, especially scoring that clutch pen in the 93rd, 94th minutes, and having that cool head against one of the best penalty stoppers in the world, you're like, oh no, this guy doesn't feel pressure. But things change. And 100% it's official right now. This is a horror show of a debut season. But Mbappe has to understand something real quick here. Real Madrid is different. Real Madrid is not unlike any other club. Because I get Bellingham trying to console him, Mbappe and everything, but Bellingham, you have to realize that this club is different. For any other club, you've got to help the new guy, help him through, build up his confidence. That's what happened in regular clubs. Real Madrid is not a regular club. There is no other club like Real Madrid. It's either you sink or swim. For a club to boo Cristiano Ronaldo and tell him to piss off because he doesn't want to accept a wage packet, then you're dealing with a club that's on a very different frequency. So Mbappe, you're not going to get pampered here. This ain't the club to be pampered with. And Bellingham has to realize that, Bellingham, you've got to get your own. Because what matters is Real Madrid's success. Who cares about whether Mbappe is playing well or badly? It doesn't matter. Bellingham, you have a duty to ensure that Real Madrid win games in Vini's absence. So for Bellingham, you should have taken a penalty. Because for Bellingham, it's like, Mbappe, we recognize you're a superstar on the international stage. On the club stage, you're a peon. Like, Jude has to let Mbappe know that me and Vini, we took this ship to the promised land without you. A La Liga and a UCL dub. So why should I defer the penalty to you? When, in Vini's absence, I am Vini's sideman. I am Vini's lieutenant. So, Mbappe, you just got here, and from what we've seen thus far, you are not ready to either lead this ship or to be the second guy. Shh. The third guy might be Rodrigo. So you went the leader of the ship, that's Vinny. You're not second in command, that is Jude Bellingham. The third guy in command, the third wheel, it ain't Mbappe. It's Rodrigo. So if you're not even the third wheel, for a penalty, and a penalty that needs to be scored, step aside, Bellingham take that damn ball. And Bellingham has to realize that, no, you need a bit of alphaness in this. There is no time for consoling. You are trying to chase Barcelona in the La Liga. Atleti are breathing down your neck, and you've got a lot of work to do in the UCL. There is no time for pampering. And on Mbappe, you have to realize that Vinny and Bellingham, they're not here to pamper you. They're not here to ease you in. You have to succeed. You have to ensure that you execute, because this is Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they don't pamper anybody. Club's different. The reason why they have so many UCLs is because it's sink or swim. Sink or swim. Look, I don't want to sound like a broken record, so I hate repeating myself, But just to paraphrase, if he moved before Real won that first UCL without Cristiano, things would have been different. Him moving after the fact, it's a whole different landscape. And you're not entering as a superstar, you're entering as a side guy. But there's something very interesting that we're missing here. Because again, I don't want to repeat myself. I want to give you some new info. The decline didn't start at Real Madrid. This decline started last season at PSG. So it's not a case of like, oh gosh, like, yes, I'm not shocked. I'm just a bit surprised as to how bad he's been. So it's like, okay, whoa, I didn't know you'd be this bad. But it is not a shock to the system, because I told you I was in Germany for the Euros. I went to two of France's matches. And I was like, something ain't right with this guy. We all saw the last season at PSG. We all saw that game against Dortmund, where you missed a lot of opportunities. So this decline did not start when he just arrived at Real Madrid. It's already begun before. So the question, the massive question mark, shout out to your boy, the Riddler in Gotham City, is Mbappe declining? Did you already meet his peak? Like, I did a special Horseman patron video where I delved into that in detail. But I'm saying to myself that, wait a minute, that guy that I saw do what he did in that World Cup final in Qatar, that pretty much stole the show in that World Cup final, surely he should keep on improving. How do you go from there to now you're now in brick and you now sell fruits? It baffles the mind. But the reason why I say that this is different, because, you see, this was a shock. So remember, Hazard entered Real Madrid after having arguably his best ever season for Chelsea, where he was outstanding. So the notion was, oh my gosh, Hazard is now entering his peak. This is now Hazard's best era. So it was a perfect time for him to go to Real Madrid, and everyone at Chelsea were like, we get it. Once Real call, you've got to answer that call, and he's literally one of the best players in the world. So he was entering Real Madrid as one of the best footballers in the world. So once he bricked it, that was a shock. Because I don't expect that. The guy I saw in the last season at Chelsea, the guy I saw what he did at that 2018 World Cup, I did not expect him to fall off a cliff the way that he did. Because that 2018 World Cup, then the 18-19 season, Hazard is entering his peak. We're now going to see the very best of this player who's going to define a generation. And then at Real Madrid. So that Hazard era at Real Madrid, that was a shock. This is not a shock. It's just a bit surprising as to how bad he's been. And because it just put the penalty misses away. Put the lack of goals away. Or open play goals away. The general play is worrying. And again, I saw this with him for France. I saw this with him at PSG. So the question, members of the jury, is, has Mbappe already peaked? Was Mbappe's peak that World Cup final? And are we now seeing the ridiculously early decline of a player? I don't know the answer to that question. I hope it's no. I pray it's no. But guys, I am baffled. Mbappe is supposed to be the face of this generation. Because Messi, Cristiano, these guys are on their way out. Mbappe is supposed to be the definitive face of football. And we know it ain't Mbappe. It's that 17-year-old with grills, aka Lamine Olusegun Yamal. He's the face of football at 17. It shouldn't be a 17-year-old. It should be you, Mbappe. So I don't know what's going wrong. But I'm going to say something crazy. I'm going to say something crazy. I'm going to say something big crazy. They bought Mbappe for a free. I know, massive signing on fee, huge signing on fee, but cool. You don't want to be reactionary, you don't want to move into things, but let me just make an argument. If he was to return to PSG, he would be clowned. Every moment he hits the ball, every moment you see him, you quit, you're a quitter, you're a coward, you run away from the smoke. So if he was to return to PSG, he would be viewed as a complete quitter and a loser and a coward. Justifiably so. And he'd have to take that heat, justifiably so. But here's my argument. As much as that would be a bad look, and I know that Mbappe would never want to do this because Mbappe's dream is to be at Real Madrid and to be a definitive player for Real Madrid. But the reason why I'm throwing forward an argument because I'm seeing a storyline build here. Winning one UCL for PSG will define your legacy. To have an impact on Real Madrid, you would have to win the treble and be the definitive reason they won the treble. Real have already won La Ligas. Real have a whole bunch of UCLs. So you winning the UCL for Real Madrid, cool. That's good for you personally, but it doesn't move the needle anyway. And the way things are looking, if Real are to win a UCL or La Liga, it wouldn't be down to you. It would be down to either Vinny or Jude Bellingham. Because as we've already established, this is Vinny's team. I told you it was Vinny's team before Mbappe came. I said, no, this is Vinny's team. And with Vinny being injured, Mbappe playing in Vinny's absence, it has reinforced the fact that this is Vinny's team. And it will always be Vinny's team as long as he is a Real Madrid player. So for Mbappe, because I did hint at this just before the move happened that maybe he should stay at PSG because it's made all the sense in the world moving to Real Madrid initially. But after Vinny won the UCL twice and Bellingham won that UCL last year with Vinny and them being so pivotal for them, Bellingham having that outstanding season and Vinny balling out, I was like, Mbappe, you can't be the superstar of this team. You simply can't. And Real Madrid, they didn't need Mbappe. They clearly didn't need Mbappe. They needed Mbappe before that 22 UCL dub. They needed Mbappe then, 100%. Because the notion was, bro, we need that superstar because we didn't think the Benzema was going to go crazy and Super Saiyan in that 22 UCL run. We didn't know. But once Benzema went Super Saiyan in that 22 UCL, and then Vinny went Super Saiyan in last year's UCL, we were like, we don't need him really. Okay, it's great to have an addition. You can't have too many great players, but we don't really need you. We don't really need you, yo. So my argument is, this is just my suggestion here. Return to PSG. Return to PSG. Take all the abuse, take all the insults, but you win them that UCL. That would mean more than anything you achieve at Real Madrid. Because anything you achieve at Real Madrid, in my opinion, I believe that you will be a side chick to either Vinny or Jude Bellingham. Whereas if you go to PSG, that team rests on your shoulders. That will be your team. You'll be the defining factor of that team. And you win that UCL, it will be down to you. And that's what will define your legacy, or rather, it will add to your legacy on top of the World Cup in 2018 and the World Cup performance in 2022. So that is my suggestion there. But because, here's the thing. I'll end it here. I've talked enough. This has been a horrible season. It's not over yet, but I can tell that now this season it's a horror season. Maybe he's got a few goals here and there, a few penalties, but this will go down as a horrible debut season. And what makes it so crazy is you're juxtaposing it against what Bellingham did last season. That's what makes it so crazy. And Bellingham came in without any of the clout and the heat that Mbappe came in with. And we saw what Bellingham did last season. So it might be a write-off. So it's a case, okay, write-off, let's start again next year. But I've got a very funny feeling, guys. I've just got a very funny feeling that this is not going to work. Kaka didn't work. Robin didn't work. Cannavaro didn't work. Hazard didn't work. There are several players that came through Real Madrid with huge names, and they never made it. Even as amazing as my GOAT, Ronaldo is, he did go to Real Madrid with a grenaded knee. So for Mbappe, you could just be on a long list of superstar players who simply did not work in the heaviest jersey in football. Second one is trousers. But horror show. Think about becoming a Football Hut member. If you're a desktop merchant, just click on the join button below, over here. Or if you're a mobile phone merchant, just click on the join button below the video over here and join the true elite content crack addicts. Peace.